Okay, here we are talking today with SCORE executive, high level, as a matter of fact, is my guest. And I'm so delighted to have her with us. I want to introduce Lisa Foster. And Lisa, how are you today?
Oh, fantastic. So excited to be here with you today, Jim.
Yeah, I am too. I'm excited. I want to tell folks SCORE is an organization. Some of the folks that might be watching this podcast may not be familiar with SCORE, but it's easy enough to find out. I think what we're doing now, Lisa, is directing them to the score.org, the national website.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a treasure
So,
trove
so
of
they,
information.
yeah, they'll find out all they need to know in just a few seconds. There's plenty of it out there. There's lots of inventory of info. Anyway, I wanted to let people know that you are the chapter chair of Chapter 28 in Milwaukee, which takes in about what, 10 counties around it, Chapter 28?
It does, from Sheboygan down to Kenosha over to Madison.
Yeah. And the SCORE has, I want to say, I, I think I'm not totally correct on this, but I think 400 chapters around the country. Is that correct?
You're right, it has hundreds of chapters across the country.
All right, right. So this last year, 2023, you were the leading chapter amongst all the chapters in the United States. You had led the pack as far as mentoring and chapter results. You were just up there. So congratulations, Lisa.
Thank you so
And
much, Jim. It was a team. I'm so proud of our team's efforts, right? And we don't do this for awards, we do it for impact. We do
right.
it to help our small business dreamers and owners wherever they are in, the life of their business. And it brings us all such fulfillment because we're all volunteers and we really love it.
Yeah. Well, Lisa, yeah, one of the things that is you are strictly a volunteer. You're not getting paid for this. So if folks think that any of the mentoring that SCORE does is a paid mentoring, that's not the case. We're doing it out of a labor of love, I guess I would say. And in fact, you are also, along with being this chapter chair, which is really a pretty quite an undertaking. I mean, you got that. There's a lot of work involved with that. A lot of organizing, a lot of keeping things straight, and motivating people, and all that you do. And you're doing it as a volunteer. Is that right?
It is, and I do it with a team. I've done nothing by myself. Maybe at 15, I
Yeah.
thought I did, but it's not true. And we have an executive committee for the chapter. And right now, we have about 90 volunteers in Southeast Wisconsin, and everybody, really is fulfilled with doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got a team, but you've had to put that team together because sometimes the people that join SCORE want to strictly mentor clients and they don't want to be doing administrative duties. And you've had to do something to bring those people together, and you've got a dedicated team, people that really like what they're doing, and they're so for that, I want to say congratulations and kudos to you. What a magnificent job you did organizing that.
Thank you. It's so fun
Yeah.
to work with amazing people, and I learn so much from them every day as well.
Yeah. Well, Lisa, what is it that your background is? You've got I want to say, kind of a consulting background. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Clients. Okay. So maybe just tell us a little bit about what your background is. I know you came recently from Harley Davidson to Milwaukee from California, but I'm gonna let you tell it.
Well, thank you, Jim, and thanks for asking. Yes, my parents were entrepreneurs, and I tripped and fell into owning a business a couple of years out of my undergrad, and then I helped a friend out who was in dire straits with his business, and he told 10 friends, and all of a sudden I had two businesses. One of them, small medium sized business consulting, and then fast forward, I
Right.
sold those businesses, and then went to DC and went back to school, got a degree, and then I worked for the number one change management firm and consulting firm in the world, which was Accenture at that time, and did global consulting for Fortune 100 firms and learned a tremendous amount. And of course, did some side gigs too. And then Harley Davidson was a prior client, and eventually they stole me away and I moved to Milwaukee, and I started off in their, leading their dealer consulting program, part of that. And then they moved me 1 or 2 years every year after that to do something new and bigger and more exciting. And it's just been an honor.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting background. So how did you find out about SCORE? I mean, how did that kind of appeal to you, the idea of being a volunteer with an organization like SCORE?
Yes. When I decided to leave Harley Davidson, looked to see, all right, what did I really want to do? And I wanted to find a place that I could give more than just my time or my money or be on a board, something that was uniquely from Lisa. And I found SCORE, and it was an amazing fit. I have met so many clients, learned so much from both my clients and also the volunteers. It's so energizing. And there's nothing better than to see a client succeed and know that you've had just a little bit, to do with that. It's a heartfelt emotion that, it's thrilling.
Yeah, you're spot on with that. That's why I myself, being a SCORE mentor I've been around SCORE for 22 years. I'm an old timer. They're about ready to put me out to pasture here, but the thing about it is, I just like you. I feel a certain gratitude when I see people get to a level of their business and they're now on the fast track with their business and they're just delighted. And I had something to do with it. So I know the feeling. It's an elevation feeling. You really feel good. So what do you think? Now you said there's a 90 some SCORE reps in the chapter 28, but around the state of Wisconsin, we've got more than one chapter. We've got 5 chapters, I believe.
We do. So we have, several hundreds of mentors, certainly statewide. And then we have over 10,000 nationwide. And we pride ourselves in finding the right expert at the right time for our clients. So Jim, you're an old hand at this. When a client needs, say, branding, then all of a sudden I reach out to another mentor and we co-mentor. Or we need something about financials, and so I bring somebody else in. Or it could be packaging, it could be retail, anything. We have the experts out of 10,000 mentors nationwide, and every single person is ready and eager to help clients.
Yeah, that's the beauty, I think, of being a SCORE mentor is we can go out and reach out into a pool of about 10,000, and somebody is going to have some experience regardless of what the industry or what the business. We'll find them. They're out there.
Yes.
So that's the magic of it, and these people are willing to come on. I don't care if they're in California and I'm in Wisconsin, they're still willing to jump in and help. So, and I've done it recently. I've just brought one of our SCORE mentors, Lynn Olkey, who has a tremendous background in nonprofits, 501c3 corporations, and she jumped in with a 501c3 that I'm mentoring right now. And without her mentorship, I would have been a little bit deficient on some of the knowledge I needed to help these people. But she jumped to my rescue, so that's great. What is it? How do you like Wisconsin now that you're made this move from sunny California?
Oh, I love Wisconsin. It has a tremendous culture, so family and community oriented. The winters are getting more mild all the time, which I enjoy that, but also it can be risky, right? But it's the people.
Yeah, it is. It is a nice culture. Let me ask you, SCORE clients. Now, when they find us as mentors, they probably have gone to the SCORE website to fill out an online request for mentoring. And how do they get paired with the are they able to select the mentor they want?
Great question,
That
Jim.
process.
Yeah, they can do one of two ways. One is to go on score.org, the website, and search for mentor. And that can be, somewhat difficult because there are hundreds and thousands of mentors out there. So what we do
Right.
is we encourage people to go ahead and put in their zip code and then type in as much information as they can about whatever challenges they want to talk about first. And so then we have a team that looks at that daily, Monday through Friday, and matches the client with a mentor. So either way works.
Yeah. There's because I sometimes wonder how the clients got to me, and they don't always say that they picked out my bio to handpick me, but I think what the team did is try to align me with as closely as they can with what that client's uh, business direction is, so that we'll work together.
Absolutely. And as we said earlier, that then that mentor brings in however many experts they need. Sometimes I know that a fellow mentor has brought in a whole panel because that was best for the client. Or, I've brought in many co-mentors at different times. And then also even handed off clients to somebody else where,
Right.
somebody else's expertise was right in that moment. As a next step.
Yeah, that's a great, because the mentor may say, "Hey, I think the co-mentor I brought in might be a better fit overall for this client." So you can hand a client off, which is another great thing. So we've got and nobody's getting paid. No invoices are going out. None of that. Now,
No, but
SCORE is also. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
time is the greatest gift that we have to give, Jim, in my opinion. And so the people at SCORE who are volunteering, are giving that gift. And so we do it for fulfillment, right? As we said before, that is. And we do what the client wants. We don't decide for them. We help them and bring all the tools to bear, all the resources we can within SCORE
Right.
and outside of SCORE, everything that's at our, fingertips to help them move forward. But they decide.
Yeah, that's exciting, because if they had to hire a consultant to come in, a private sector consultant to come in, they might have to pay a hefty hourly rate for that consultant.
Yes. Yeah, my I'm sure yours too, Jim. Hourly rate is pretty significant. Should we do it? However, yeah, I've been asked that, Lisa, why would you do this for free when you can be paid? And
Right.
the reality is that the clients that I serve in SCORE are different than the clients that I would serve in industry. The clients I serve in industry are much larger and have, different challenges. I do, business transformation, so big changes. And however, we're all experts with business at SCORE. And so it is so we can see things with the small businesses and dreamers, that others can't. So it is a fulfillment. They would not be clients of mine. And so I would never get to work with them. And it's such an honor to do so.
Yeah. And it's the people are so grateful sometimes to have this kind of help, and they really can't say enough. In fact, I've had clients that after their business got on its firm footing, they've been willing to donate some funds to SCORE to help keep SCORE in existence. And that was something nobody asked them for. That was on their own. So it was nice that people can do that, give back after they've used SCORE's services. But
yes,
they're there for people.
Yeah, you're so right. That's not something we ever ask because we're not paid for services. However, we, as a 501c3, all of the chapters need to do local fundraising. And so we can't operate without that local fundraising. So we do on occasion reach out and ask for donations across all of our constituents.
And we may get a corporate sponsor from time to time. We've had corporate sponsors. I know Score National has many corporate sponsors that believe in Score and want to keep Score there, because it's really helping people. But Score is also part of a government agency. Is that correct?
As a 501c3, it is separate from the government. So great comment, Jim. And so we operate separately. However, we are funded about 60%-ish every year by Congress through a grant. And so we lobby, of course, Score headquarters, they lobby for this grant. And because small businesses are the backbone of the United States, right? 99% of businesses in the United States are small businesses. It's pretty astounding.
Right.
And without that, our economy would recede and shrivel, if you will. And so then, because of the grant from Congress, the SBA oversees our delivery of that grant commitment. So mentoring sessions and education sessions, and they make sure that we make good on those measures that we say we're going to do for the grant.
Right. All those mentoring sessions that we have with clients are not recorded, but they are logged so that people know that we're having regular mentoring sessions with these folks, and that's part of the grant requirement, I take it.
It is, and also it's incredibly important that we keep everything confidential with our clients. And every year, all the mentors, as you know, Jim, we take a code of ethics and we refresh our memories on all of that. And we take it very seriously because our clients are sharing financials, their ideas, that could be a competitive advantage to other people if they knew. And so we are extremely excellent at keeping those all those conversations and that data confidential. However, we do say, yes, we've had X number of mentoring sessions.
Yeah. After I've mentored a client a little bit, I keep in touch with these clients. Sometimes they become more than clients. They become friends of mine. We have, and we do not. I've had clients say, Jim, can I take you to lunch? Can I take you to dinner? Can I do this? Can I give you some money? I said, I am not allowed to do that, but I'll say you can make a donation to Score if you like. And one of the things that I do is, sometimes I'll go out and try to make referrals for clients that I know they're seeking areas, but we don't as a rule, have favorites that we say, here's 3 potential companies that could help you outside of Score. And so from that standpoint, I might make a referral.
Absolutely, because as mentors, we're giving all of our wisdom and tools and resources. However, we don't do the work. We're not consultants.
Right.
And so therefore, when a client needs a bookkeeper, and we always give 3, and now we believe in all 3, we understand that they're recommended by us. However, the client can, we encourage them to interview all 3 and choose one, or absolutely find one on their own as well. Because we're doing it to help the client, and the client needs to make that decision.
Yeah. So how long has Score been in existence then?
Oh, we're celebrating 60 years in October, and our chapter is one of the first chapters to have been in existence. And so it's actually our 60th as well. Yes.
The chapter 28 was one of the beginning chapters. That's great.
Yes.
From what I understand, my history in Score is that it was the Small Business Administration that actually began the Score chapter, but they soon gave it over to retired executives from companies and bigger organization. But SCORE is not, I think the acronym stands for Service Corps of Retired Executives. But today's SCORE is not all retirees, is it?
It isn't. How astute. And about 4 years ago, SCORE stopped using that as an acronym, and we go by SCORE.
Yeah.
So it's no longer stands for that, because as we need to evolve as our clients evolve. And so therefore, even in our chapter, we have about 20% of those in our chapter that work full time and want to give back as well. So it's all in alignment with our mission to foster vibrant small business communities through mentoring and education, whether they're leaders in their companies or leaders leading their own companies or retired. Everybody that's in SCORE really has that same focus of serving the small business owner.
Gotcha. Now, SCORE is also, besides mentoring, they put on a myriad of small business programs, webinars and seminars and, live seminars, online programs, that kind of thing. Is that something that's part of the resource that people get when they get SCORE?
Absolutely. Anybody can go to the score.org and pull down hundreds of on-demand webinars and blogs and et cetera, tools, templates, you name it. However, every chapter, we work to do education. So we partner, with others and we deliver, as you mentioned, some workshops are, online only and they're live, but people can chat in questions. So then it's interactive somewhat. Or we call them hybrid, where you can either come in person, or if you're farther away or because of time constraints can't join in person, you can be online and so still be part of that. And that is essential, we found, to helping our, businesses succeed. And when we mentor, the data says every year it's redone, refreshed, that data, that when a client mentors, has a mentoring session for 3 times, then they have higher revenues and they have higher growth. It's pretty significant.
It really is. Accelerates them in their business world and their journey on the. One of the things I think that's now, if you run into a client that is really just, you have a feeling this client's going to really have a struggle and probably will not go through with the entire business idea. I never rain on somebody's parade. I like them to come to that realization on their own. What do you do in that case, Lisa, when you see somebody, they're just not going to make it? Some people have great aspirations, great ideas, but they just, when they get into practice, they say, I don't think I can do this. Do you weigh in on that with them, or just let them come to that decision?
I help them come to that decision as you do, Jim, because it is their decision. And even if, they look at the financials and they, there isn't enough demand to be profitable or whatever the reason, they need to make that decision. However, we can help them as mentors come to the best decision possible. And no matter what advice we give, I remember one couple, they were recently retired and were ready to invest their life savings on something that they had wanted to do for years. And they learned that there wasn't enough business to make it even a break even. It was heartbreaking. However, I felt proud that I was able to help them come to their best decision. They could have decided to do it and have the business. And
they would have stuck their whole life savings into it, which could have they could have regretted very, very much after said and done.
Yeah, very difficult.
I'm glad you brought up the.
Yeah, sorry, Jim.
No, go ahead. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Very difficult at times, for clients and for us as mentors. However, we're there to help them see, the great messages, the hard messages, what's best for them, help guide them However, again, they have that control. But I shed a few tears over that one because they too did. However, I felt proud that I was able to help them to see that they would have spent their life savings and likely
Yeah.
would have drained it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You can kind of help people not make a decision that could be extremely damaging to them. So that's a good thing. So I'm glad you brought up the point, because sometimes people will come to me as a SCORE client, and they will ask me to write a business plan for them. And you pointed that out. We don't actually do the work, but I have a great template that is very small, one page, and it's a great way to begin that business plan. Because one thing I've learned is a business plan is a work in progress. It's never completely. It's going to change, going to take turns and twists. So it should be a living document from the beginning all through the journey of their business. Do you agree?
Absolutely. And well done, Jim,
Yeah,
to
because
have that one pager.
Yeah, I got it from another SCORE mentor, and it's been great. And I usually, the first session that I have with a client when I first get the client is what I call a get acquainted session. I want to get briefed on what their business plan, what their idea. Maybe they don't have a business plan yet. Most of them don't. But I want to see what their vision is, where they want to be in, say, 3 years, where they see themselves. How do you begin your sessions with folks?
I do it very similarly, Jim, and I meet with them first and find out what they're most interested in and which idea they'd like to start with, because as entrepreneurs, there are countless ideas, right? And I too start with that one plan on a page, if you will, because you can even take that one plan on a page to potential customers. You can take it to potential funders or lenders, or even without having all the detail underneath, they can say, yes, that looks pretty viable, and give input. So I found that one plan on a page, if you will, is essential, and it really is amazing for the client. I've even had clients do more than one with various ideas to see how it would map out.
Yeah. It's and that's kind of what I'm doing too. I want to get a feel for where they want to go. So when I start mentoring with them, that I'm on the same page with them. So where do you see the future of SCORE? I mean, where's SCORE headed? What does the future look like?
Well, there will always be a tremendous need for mentors and mentoring and education that's relevant, right? And that's why we do so many workshops, and they're both local and national, because the relevancy is so important. Some things are, state specific, and others aren't. But with mentors, that's just the gold standard, if you will, that to have a mentor, an advisor, and a team of advisors for your business idea, I don't see that changing. And what is changing, though, that 5 years ago when I joined SCORE, I was the very first person in our chapter to be working. And then now we have about 20%. Now we don't look at all in the background of whether people are working or not working. It's that, do they have the time? Do they have the experience, right? Do they have the time? And are they energized by helping small businesses? And also, we look at their background, because we need a fit. So for example, digital marketing 5 years ago, we didn't have a lot of people in our chapter that did that, right? That could advise on that. And now we have many. And so we'll just keep evolving as our clients evolve in terms of background, skill set, and whatever is needed.
Right. Well, one of the things I know every year, we, as SCORE mentors, we sign a code of ethics. So that, when I mentioned earlier about accepting things from clients or lunches or any freebies like that, we sign a code of ethics that we will refrain from that type of thing. So is that something that'll stay in place? I think it will for the life of SCORE.
Absolutely. It's it's a best practice that many businesses do, and it's important to remember to remind all of us about how important it is, how important keeping everything confidential is, and not accepting, because we don't want to accidentally or unintentionally have the client think that, oh, they're paying us back by giving us products, or taking us out to dinner, or whatever it may be, or giving
Right.
us a gift
Right.
card. And that is what we're working hard to have not happen, because we are free.
Yeah, and another area is sometimes clients think that SCORE mentors may be a angel investor for their business, and I think we also have something in the code of ethics that addresses that. So I'll let you speak to that.
Well, thank you, Jim. So in Lisa's words, not speaking for SCORE, but really my interpretation is that, yes, as a SCORE mentor, to invest in one of our clients or work for one of our clients, and take money for that, then if we choose to do that, then we need to leave SCORE, because it's a conflict of interest. However,
Right.
I've
Right.
often helped others, my clients, find angel investors, and there are a lot of incubators and accelerators throughout the state of
Yeah.
Wisconsin, and we partner with many of them, and so we enjoy helping them to find those experts that can help them.
Yeah, we also partner with some lenders too, organizations like WIBIC, which is a organization that is strictly funding from $500 up to what $500,000, I think. So
Yes.
maybe somebody only needs $10,000 to launch their business, and the banks aren't too friendly to small loans like that. But WIBIC is, right?
Yes. They have a crowdfunding option where it can be, as you mentioned, $1,000 on up for people that don't have credit history, and all sorts of options. And what we do, going back to that, we give 3 suggestions or options for our clients to look into, and WIBIC is very well might be one of those. Certainly we offer for that client to also see their local resource or financial institution as well. But we partner with a lot of other like-minded areas or institutions, so that we can better help our clients, and that's the reason why.
Yeah. Well, Lisa, I appreciate you taking the time this morning to come on board with me and I know I kind of bugged you for a while. I said, I was a thorn in your side that wasn't going away. But you are such a delightful person, and such a magnificent person, that I can't say enough about what you did for the SCORE chapter, because there was a time when it was getting a little bit weak, and you came aboard at the perfect time and did a magnificent job of keeping everything on track. And thank you so much for what you give and what you continuously do for SCORE and the clients. And thank you for joining me this morning.
It's been an honor, Jim. I so appreciate you and everything that you do as well. It's impressive and impactful.
God bless. And I'll be talking, and I'll let you go this morning. I know you've got a busy schedule today, so I look forward to maybe doing it again. So thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Lisa.
And perhaps we can co-mentor in the future. I look forward to that.
You got it. Okay.
Goodbye.